2.5 years ago, my body got the diagnosis breast cancer. So I never thought this could happen to me. I had a lot of friends that died of that, so I always asked myself why people die and others survive. So when I got the diagnosis, I was really in a very dark, deep hole. I could not sleep anymore. I was so scared. And in Germany, it's very difficult to get an appointment at the hospital. So you have to wait. You have quite a long time. So first they're very fast, like you go to the doctor and then they realize it and then they really frighten you the hell out of it because they say, oh my God, you know. So everything gets very fast in the beginning until they know it's really cancer. And then they leave you alone with it. But afterwards, I'm very thankful because in this time I had the time to read the book, You Are the Placebo. My very good friend gave it to me because I could not sleep anymore. I was not sleeping for nights because I was so scared, because I saw so many people dying of it. And I was just like, I decided I don't want to have that, you know, like, and I have children and I didn't want them to go through all this because I knew how it looks like, how it can look. So, but the book really gave me a new perspective. So I realized very fast that it's my decision, and that if I believe what I want to believe, then it's going to be like I want to have it. So it took a long time until I went to the doctor. I had already read the book. I started the meditations. Every time I could not sleep, I started meditating. The You Are the Placebo meditation. What really impressed me was the simple thing of the brain waves. Like if they're coherent, then you are healthy. And it always reminded me of cats, because cats, they make vibrations, and it's known that they heal themselves by doing those vibrations. So in a way, I always imagine that I'm gonna make these vibrations in a nice way again. So yeah, by doing the meditation. And then I was lucky because first I had a doctor. She was like really, at the biopsy, she was really frightened. And at the MRT, they were like, oh my God, people with the baddest prognosis, they live the longest, you know. And I was looking at her like, what is she talking about, you know? Because they made a test and discovered that I had it already for 4 years. And yeah, so I really knew I didn't want to have any chemo or this radiation therapy. So I went to another doctor. I waited again and I talked to him, but with this input from this book, I talked different to him. And he was a really very young doctor, but very wise. So he was like reflecting this. He was like, yeah, no problem, you're gonna do that, you know? And before, in this period, until I waited to talk to this person, I went to several healers. And they were talking to me like, I cannot help you. I cannot take that out of your body. You know, they will not make a therapy if you say you make no chemo. So even the healers were like giving me up in a way. So I was like, no. And I went 3 days after, one after the other, to this one healer, and I told him, I don't want to have a chemo. And he said, no way, you're going to have one. Yeah, you know, so and I had no. So, and that was the nice thing because the doctor I had, he was also a very positive thinking person. So he really much appreciated my positive thinking, you know. So he was like trying to support me in my idea how to heal this. So they did a test again. You don't have that in Germany. It's an American test, this oncotype test, where they can define what kind of treatment will help you and so. And until this time, it takes a long time until you get the results. So I was very frightened still. And I always kept going on with the meditation in the morning, in the evening. After 1 year, I started to count how many hours I was meditating. It was really a lot. I just really realized how many time I spent meditating. So, but this helped me really much to calm myself down and to believe that everything is gonna be perfect and so. And then they put me into a complementary medicine group with 10 women that had breast cancer. And this was even more frightening because, you know, they were in all different kinds of disease, with chemo, with whatever, with radiation. I was sitting there always thinking, I don't belong in this group, you know. So but I went there because I had to wait for the result, and it scared me to see what they're doing with those treatments to those people, because I felt that they harm them even more, you know. If you treat people with chemo, this is really brutal. So first I thought I don't go there anymore. And I had a very good doctor in this group. He was from India, and then he said, I said to him, I don't want to stay here, I'm going to leave. And he said, yeah, you know, I would like to leave too, but it's like it is. So, but this book and this meditation gave me the power to still believe I'm going to get through without any of those brutal stuff. So, and it worked. So after a while, I was still in that group, I got the result, and they said, okay, we won't going to do anything. Only an operation if you want that, a surgery. I was feeling very guilty in this group of these women, because some of them, I think they already died, you know. So, because every morning we met, we were talking about what's going on with you, what is the procedure. So, and then I was thinking, oh, how can I say that? Can I tell them that everything is okay, you know? And then I thought, yes, I can, because it is okay. So I did that, and it was like I was a light for those women. And yeah, I think it's true. It's always a possibility to heal yourself if you do this work really regularly and really passionate. And what I learned in the workshop, one thing is to heal yourself, but the other thing is to stay healthy, because you have then afterwards to change the conditions in your life that brought you to that point to get this disease or to make yourself this disease. So I met in Sardinia a lot of women that were talking about themselves, that they healed themselves from cancer, but then went back into their old life and got it even worse later. So I think this is the main point I wanted to tell. Never give up and go further. Don't stop it. Don't stop the work.